Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Food for the Faithful channel with me, Bill Reimer, your not so reluctant prophet. Today I'm here to talk to all you whack-a-moleans. What's a whack-a-molean, you say, Bill? A whack-a-molean is someone who chooses to keep attacking each and every one of all the different manifestations of the nutty left. Because they will invent more things than you can whack-a-mole at. We need to first understand why they think what they do. You cannot solve a problem that you do not understand, especially if you are convinced that your ideological position is correct, but have never thought about the sources of the ideological issues you hope to correct. Ideological possession is the curse of our time, and it is the express purpose of this channel. If we are to debate with our ideological doppelgangers, we must first understand their position well enough to debate on behalf of it against the most rigorous attacks. Only then should we consider ourselves to be qualified to address the nature of those ideas. If you become annoyed when people challenge what you think without calmly being able to present them with a reasoned response using ethics, epistemology, and ontology, solidly based upon demonstrable facts and reasoned discourse, then it is time for you to rethink how you think, or even perhaps why you assume you have learned how to think. There is a glaring legal dichotomy in Canada, which has led to our current cultural crisis. Lower Canada, which later became Quebec, is under French civil law, while Upper Canada, which later became Ontario, has English common law, as does the rest of Canada with the exception of Quebec. Civil law focuses on collective rights and responsibilities, while common law focuses on individual rights and responsibilities. Never the twain shall meet. Countries and jurisdictions with civil law cannot even comprehend the individual outside of them being viewed as a social expression of statism. These two opposing viewpoints are irreconcilable. This has made the Canadian experiment a legal impossibility. Every status tyranny under which this sad nation has suffered came out of the Quebec-loving Laurentian consensus. English common law's focus on the individual stems from its historical development through judicial decisions that emphasize the rights and liberties of individuals. This system evolved case by case, with judges creating law based on the specific facts before them, rather than applying a comprehensive code. This inductive method allows for a nuanced approach to justice that can adapt to new situations and societal changes. The common law tradition values the protection of individual rights and often views the law as a means to resolve disputes and provide remedies to individuals who have been wronged. It's a system that has developed organically with a strong emphasis on precedent and the outcome of previous cases, which gives it a certain flexibility to address the unique circumstances of each case. The United Empire Loyalists who fled north after the American Revolution had lost their properties and holdings in the U.S. Upon arriving here, they insisted that they be allowed to bring with them the legal traditions of English common law, since it was a pillar of their liberties, ensuring, 1. Upper Canada would emerge as an economic hub of trade, commerce, and industry, and 2. English common law provided a framework for business transactions, property rights, and contracts. The UELs therefore rejected the French civil system since it was less conducive to commercial development. In contrast, civil law, with its roots in Roman law, is more focused on applying a set of established legal principles derived from codified statutes. The role of judges in civil law is more about interpreting the law as written rather than creating law based on individual case decisions. The individual focused nature of common law has contributed to its emphasis on personal freedoms, liberties, and property rights, thereby shaping the legal culture in common law jurisdictions. Understanding these facts is essential to understanding the complexities of our present problems rather than merely looking at the symptoms of why Canada has become so dysfunctional. We are all well aware of the many illiberal manifestations being perpetrated by those who look at individuals as mere extensions of the social collective. We can play whack-a-mole with those myriad manifestations all we wish, but it will have no effect to stop them. Remember this: our reaction is our ideological opponent's real action. If we are constantly in a reactive mode, we will only add fuel to the cultural fires that they are constantly setting. We need to fully comprehend why people who believe that the government can solve all human ills think the way that they do. What I wrote about in this post are the idea pathogens hidden in what I'm writing about in this post are the idea pathogens hidden in civil law. It places the focus away from the individual onto the collective. This made Quebec and the Laurentian Consensus ideal candidates for Hegelian dialectical thinking. These idea pathogens are the source of all our confusion about the rule of law and the legitimate role of the government. If ever we doubted the power of ideological possession, our time offers abundant proof. We are witnessing idiots who are possessed by all of the worst ideas of the 20th century, who have in turn infected the political class of the 21st in order to return humanity to madness and tyranny. This all-out assault on reason is being led by a species of imbecile who no longer believes that 2 + 2 = 4 or that biological sex is binary. These are those who do not believe in the state heeding the voice of the citizenry. They believe that all decisions must come down from on high rather than leaving them in the hands of the people. This is why English common law is our greatest inheritance, which must be protected at all costs from the encroachment of the civil law-minded lawyers and justices who wish to destroy all vestiges of our cultural heritage while insisting that Quebec has some divine prerogative to keep its cultural heritage intact. And why am I so passionate about this? Because of Galatians chapter 3, verse 24 from the King James Version. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith. These ideologically addled fools want us to forget about the law because their father Beelzebub doesn't want us to come to the freedom which is in Christ. Something our UEL ancestors obviously understood with all that nonsense about my forefathers' patriarchal tyranny, white privilege, and ridding ourselves of their post-colonialism aside. These are things to think and pray about on this Saturday, March the 16th. Hope you have a great St. Paddy's Day tomorrow. I just have one quick aside here. What's green and rusty and sits out in your backyard? Patio furniture.